Today we're going to be working on Lesson 8 in PowerPoint 2013. In this lesson we're going to deal a little bit with arranging slides. Specifically, the topics are going to include reusing slides, this is a review item, duplicating slides, again a review item. Then we're going to discuss rearranging the slides. We're going to take a look at a new view, it's called the slide sorter view, typically useful when rearranging slides. We're going to talk about deleting slides, and then we're going to do one more review item, and that is adding slide numbers to our headers and footers. Alright, we need to get our files for Lesson 8, and while we could get them from the book, it is possible to do that, we are going to be reusing slides, so we actually are going to be needing to download a couple of presentations. So it makes sense to actually get the files from our class files folder. So I'm going to minimize this, go to class files, IIT, PowerPoint, and Chapter 1. Again, class files, IIT, PowerPoint, and Chapter 1. We are working in Lesson 8, so we're going to come down to where you see the Lesson 8 files. I'm going to select all of these Lesson 8 PowerPoint files, and we're going to drag them to the Documents folder. Once you've done that, we can go to Documents, and the file we need to open is P08 try A. Please open that file. Alright, we want to save this file to our folder that has today's date, so we'll do a Save As. Direct it again to Documents, but then this time placing this file in the folder with today's date. Okay, our file is saved, and now we want to begin our lesson. We're going to start by going to Slide 3. Slide 3, we wish to make a duplicate copy of the slide. So this is something we've talked about before, so I'm going to give you a second to go ahead and use the command that would duplicate this slide. Alright, hopefully you went to the new slide button, and we're going to come down to duplicate the selected slide, and that will make a second copy of slide 3, which then becomes slide 4. We're going to repeat the process for slide number 8. So we're going to go down to slide 8, and we are going to duplicate this slide. Alright, the next topic, we want to reuse the slide. This again is an activity we've done before. So we're going to reuse a slide. We're going to go to the new slide button. I do want this new slide to be in the number 10 position when we're done. So I want slide 9 selected. I'm going to go to the new slide button, and we're going to use the reuse slides. Folks, as we take a look at this activity of reusing the slides, this is something you are going to need to do for your certification exam. The certification exam will have a number of slides pre-made for you, but you are going to be adding additional slides. And the way that you will do it, one of the ways, is by using the reuse slides option. So you need to make sure you know where this is. Alright, we're going to browse to go find this file that we wish to use for our reuse slides. And this is going to be the B08 try B file. B08 try B file. So we're going to open that particular file up. The slide that we're going to reuse is actually slide number 3, the salary ranges. So with salary ranges open here. I'm going to take and click on it. That's going to add that slide to my slide presentation as slide number 10. Now, you will notice that when this slide is brought in, that the table for the slide is actually covering the title for the slide. So what we want to do is we want to reset the slide so that it is using the standard settings of a slide, which should not cover the presentation. So what we're going to do is we're going to find our reset button, which we talked about, I believe, last class. Clicking on that reset button will reset this slide so that the table no longer overlaps the title of the slide. At this point, I am done with my reuse slides option, so I'm going to close out of that. Alright, let's talk about repositioning slides. We want to take slide 5, so I'm going to scroll up here to where I can see slide 5. I'm going to select it, and I wish to move slide 5 so that when I'm done, it will be slide 2. Now, I want to be able to see slides 1 and 2 and slide 5. And so what I'm going to do is now point at slide 5 and drag it up so that it goes in between slides 1 and 2. When I'm done, that will take that slide and make it slide 2. Alright, we're going to remove slide number 4. We're going to delete it altogether. So I'm going to click on slide 4, and we're going to now delete this slide. The quickest way I know to delete the slide, or at least the way I typically do, is by right-clicking on the slide. Right-clicking the slide will allow me to choose the delete slide option. Alternatively, once you've clicked on the slide over here on the left-hand side, you could press the delete key on the keyboard, and that would also get rid of that particular slide. Now, one issue about moving slides from one place to another is if I'm moving it a great distance. In other words, I want to move slide 2 to slide 20. I'm not going to be able to see both places at the same time. That's where the slide layout, or excuse me, the slide sorter comes in handy. In the bottom right corner, I can click on slide sorter, and that will allow me to see my slides in a different view. Alternatively, I could also go to the View tab and click Slide Sorter and get to the same view. Now, if I am moving slides a great distance, I can shrink down the Slide Sorter view and allow myself to see more slides at one time. Alright, we want to move slide 6 to the number 3 position. So I'm going to point at slide number 6, and I'm going to drag it in between 2 and 3 so that it becomes number 3. Now we are going to take the slide that is currently slide 6 and we're going to delete that slide. Basically, I press the delete key on my keyboard to get rid of that slide. Now I want to take slide 7, and I wish for this slide to be in the number 3 position. So I'm going to drag it in between 2 and 3. I'm now going to take what is currently slide 7 and move it into the number 5 position. The number 5 position basically is going to be after 4. So I'm going to come up here, drag this to the right of 4, let go, and that will move it into the number 5 position. Now, I do want to go back to the standard view where I'm looking at my single slide at a time. You can do that by double-clicking the slide you wish to bring up, or you could click the normal view. I'm going to double-click slide 2. That will bring me back to the normal view with slide 2 showing. The last thing we're going to do as a review exercise is turn on the slide numbers. To turn on the slide numbers, we're going to go to the Insert tab. Slide numbers are a part of headers and footers. Now, I can go into header or footer, and I can turn the slide number on. Alternatively, I could click where it says slide number on the ribbon. It brings up the same box. I'm going to turn the slide number on. I'm going to apply this to all the slides, and now I will see slide numbers appearing in the bottom right corner. Alright, this concludes this particular lesson as it relates to this file. So you'll want to save this file. If you have not saved it to a folder with today's date on it, you'll want to do that so that you can put this into Schoology. In this presentation, we talked a little bit about arranging slides. We did this by, first of all, reusing a slide from another presentation, duplicating slides using the new slide button. We then rearranged some slides by moving them around within the normal view. We then switched to the slide sorter view and repeated the process of moving those slides around or deleting the slides. And finally, we took a look at adding slide numbers using our header and footer tool.